Your lower back hurts after training. Not an injury. Not a sharp pain that stops you mid-set. Just that familiar ache that shows up an hour after you finish, or the next morning when you get out of bed, or both. You've stretched it. You've foam rolled it. You've taken a rest day and come back and done the exact same workout and gotten the exact same result. The pain keeps returning because you keep treating the symptom while the actual cause goes completely unaddressed. Here's the real reason your lower back hurts after every workout. And it's almost certainly not what you think. 1. Your lower back is compensating for something else. This is the central truth that most people never reach. Lower back pain after training is rarely a lower back problem. It's a compensation problem. Your lower back is working harder than it should be because something upstream or downstream in the kinetic chain isn't doing its job, and the lower back, being the adaptable, hard-working structure it is, picks up the slack. Every session. Until it starts telling you about it. The two most common culprits are weak glutes and restricted hip flexors. Both directly alter the mechanics of every movement that loads your lower back: squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, push-ups, and even walking. When either is dysfunctional, the load that should be distributed across your entire posterior chain collapses into the lumbar spine. And the lumbar spine, not designed to handle that concentrated load repeatedly, responds the only way it can. It hurts. 2. Your glutes are not doing their job. Your gluteus maximus is the largest, most powerful muscle in your body. Its primary job during any hip extension movement, standing up from a squat, finishing a deadlift, driving your hips forward, is to produce force. When it does that job properly, the load is distributed across a massive muscle group that can handle it. When your glutes are weak or neurologically inhibited, which they are in most people who sit for extended periods, because prolonged sitting literally teaches the glutes to switch off through a phenomenon called gluteal amnesia, the hip extension load transfers to the next available structure. Your hamstrings pick up some. Your lower back erectors pick up the rest. The erectors were not designed to be primary hip extensors. They were designed to stabilize the spine during hip extension. When they are asked to produce the movement instead of just stabilize it, they fatigue faster, generate more compressive force on the lumbar discs, and ache afterward. Test this now. Lie on your back, bend your knees, and perform a glute bridge. At the top of the movement, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. If you feel your hamstrings cramping before your glutes activate, your glutes are inhibited. If you feel your lower back taking the load at the top, same problem. Your lower back is doing the work your glutes should be doing. And it's been doing it every session. 3. Your hip flexors are locked short and pulling your pelvis forward. The second major contributor is anterior pelvic tilt driven by chronically tight hip flexors. Your iliopsoas, the primary hip flexor, attaches from your lumbar vertebrae through your pelvis to your femur. When it's chronically shortened from sitting, it pulls your pelvis into anterior tilt, tipping the front of the pelvis downward and the back upward. This creates an exaggerated lumbar curve, what people call an excessive arch in the lower back. In this position, your lumbar spine is already compressed before you even begin training. Add load, any load, and the already compressed lumbar discs and facet joints take significantly more force than they would in a neutral pelvic position. The muscles surrounding the lumbar spine in this position are at a mechanical disadvantage, shortened on one side, lengthened on the other, and cannot produce or absorb force efficiently. They fatigue faster. They ache longer. And the insidious part, most people with anterior pelvic tilt don't know they have it. They think their lower back arch is normal because they've had it for years. It's not normal. It's a postural compensation from years of sitting, and it's loading your lumbar spine in every exercise you do. 4. Your core is stabilizing, not bracing. There's a difference between a core that's active and a core that's actually doing its job during loaded movement. Most people engage their core superficially, they tighten their abs slightly and assume that's sufficient. It isn't. Proper core bracing during loaded movement requires intra-abdominal pressure, a 360-degree contraction of your entire trunk that creates a rigid cylinder of support around your lumbar spine. Think of it as inflating a pressure cuff around your lower back from the inside. When done correctly, this dramatically reduces the compressive load on your lumbar discs and allows your erectors to focus on their stabilization role rather than being crushed between load and an unsupported spine. Most people train for years without ever learning to create proper intra-abdominal pressure. They breathe out during the hard part of every rep, releasing all pressure exactly when they need it most, and wonder why their lower back takes the hit. 5. The actual fix. 3 things. Done consistently before and during every training session. Glute activation first, glute bridges, clamshells, or banded walks before any lower body or pulling work. 2 sets of 15. Non-negotiable. If your glutes aren't firing before you train, they won't fire during training. Hip flexor release, a 90-second deep lunge stretch each side before training. Not a quick bounce. A slow sustained hold that actually allows the iliopsoas to lengthen and the pelvis to find neutral. This single intervention will change the feel of every squat and pull you do afterward. Bracing practice. Before every set, take a deep breath into your belly, brace your entire trunk as if someone is about to punch you, and hold that pressure through the entire rep. Exhale only at the very top of the movement when the load is lowest. This is intra-abdominal pressure. This is what your lower back has been missing. Your lower back isn't weak. It's overworked. There's a difference, and fixing it requires addressing the chain, not just the link that's complaining the loudest. Fitness doesn't need more influencers selling shortcuts, it needs better explanations. If this video helped you understand the science behind bodyweight training, hit like, subscribe to Iron Monk, and comment below with a claim you've heard that doesn't hold up under scrutiny.